Hi, today I'm going to take you through personas and scenarios, which are tools for understanding users. As you design your project or your final assignment, you're going to be coming up against a lot of questions, and you need tools to help you answer those questions. One tool you can use is to work at methods for understanding the user of that system, and we've got a couple of ideas here for you. So there's lots and lots of different ways of learning about your users. You can post a demo once you've finished the project and get feedback. You can just grab people randomly and ask for feedback on your prototypes, friends or colleagues. You can construct fictional users. You can use focus groups, groups of people that you ask specific questions about the system to. You can use consumer research, so you can actually get reports on the market for you. You can use simple observation. You can give your device to someone and just watch what they do. You can ask your friends. You can get some user stories about how the user, or what the user needs to do. Usability testing is one method, which is basically based around performance of the system. The system is used to do a task, and then you measure how long it takes to do that task. And live streaming development as well is also possible. Two systems that are really important to understand are personas and scenarios. A persona is a fictional but realistic profile of someone who might use your system. There's a bit of a principle when you're designing systems or products that you don't want to design for everybody. You can't reasonably design a car that would satisfy everyone. It would have to go fast and be have lots of fuel economy, and also seat 8 people, and be red but also a really sensible colour at the same time. So you need to choose people who are appropriate people that you're targeting your product or application towards. Once you have that persona in mind, and it may be 2 or 3 people, not 12, but usually you have 2 or 3, placing that person in a scenario, a realistic story showing what happens when someone uses your system, will help you to understand their motivations and their possible needs that your system could solve for them. So here's a simple persona. Julie is a 26-year-old barista and part-time student working in a cafe in Newtown. She is due to finish her business degree at Sydney University at the end of this year. Presently, she is sharing an apartment in Marrickville with a fellow student, but she tends not to spend much time at home, preferring to spend the hours that she is not working or studying with her girlfriend. Julie is very politically aware and is particularly concerned with issues relating to the environment, and she has been supporting the Greens and is keen for the Australian government to increase its efforts to reduce global warming. So, very quickly you get an idea of what Julie's about. There's a lot of information, and especially there's a lot of implied information about Julie based on this information. Because she's sharing an apartment in Marrickville, we can guess that she's probably not driving to Sydney University. She's probably catching the bus because that's quite convenient. We also know that she's focused on politics, so we can imagine the types of things she's going to be interested in and the things she's probably not going to be interested in. And we can work out, she's 26 years old, so she's finishing her business degree, so maybe she's got a couple of degrees, maybe she's done a bit of work before going into education. So there's a few other little bits of implied information in that persona that will help us to understand Julie. Here's a scenario involving Julie. Julie is sitting in the park near the cafe where she works, eating her lunch. It's 2:30, and while she is eating, she checks Facebook. She sees that one of her friends has shared a link to an interactive app which shows how average temperatures around the world have been changing over the past 100 years. Using her phone and headphones, Julie is able to perceive patterns in global temperature and other weather features such as wind speeds, ocean temperatures and levels, etc. The screen size of her phone is quite small, so the amount of detailed information that Julie is able to meaningfully engage with is small as well. She is more intrigued by animations and accompanying sounds that help to convey the meaning of the data in ways she is better able to grasp than more traditional scientific visualizations such as graphs. So that's a scenario of Julie using an application that visualizes data about global temperatures. Here's a couple more personas, and this type of layout is quite common for personas. Here you have a personal profile, information about Sandy. Sandy is a prospective investor. Here's a little photo. That may not be a real person. It's just a photo that helps us understand who Sandy is rather than just seeing the name. Here's a kind of pull-out quote that summarizes Sandy's position in relation to investment. Some point form background. Attributes, that's kind of a simplified version of this. And needs, what they want. So here's some scenarios for Sandy. So this is a larger, more detailed persona with scenarios attached to it. Similarly, this is another persona from the same set. This is these are two investors. Sandy's at the early stages of investment, and Jason's further into it. He's been investing for a while. So basically, here we have a little bit of information. Some things are similar, 30-year-old, 35, some are different. As single, no children, but we have the same system here, placing Jason in context by showing scenarios that Jason might find himself in as he uses the application for investment decisions. All right, thank you very much.